Hello, it's the normal playing guy, and hey, so I have been busy, I have been ill, but hey, we're back, and now this is late, but everyone knows you gotta do a video on this guy, right? The king has officially returned. We have In Black's Easy A. Now, we were thinking possibly in part 3 this was never gonna drop, but they did. They were teasing us the whole way through, but we have it dropped. Part 3 dropped with a whole bunch of Easy A's. Pretty good, right? Got the two free-to-play ones. These are pretty solid, right? We covered them in another video, so that was all pretty good. But we now have the epitome of sublime beauty, Goku Black. Wow! So he has had his much anticipated Easy A for a long time, as I say. So we'll jump straight into it because hell, they left this way too long. So, Time Travelers, of course, as you'd expect, be the full 170%. It looks like for Battlefield, Extreme Int is now going to be 120. Not bad for Battlefield, right? So let's have a look. So previously, what hurt this guy the most is that he had no start of turn stats. Yes, he greatly stacked defense, but with no start of turn stats, it was a bit poor. Now, he did build up attack, so again, that was pretty nice. But here we go. So we have two key 80% to stats. Right, only two key 80%. You get an additional 40% attack up to 120 and defense 30% up to 60 at the start of each turn. So you'll need 3 rotations for this guy for his attack and just 2 rotations for his defense. So if anything, turn 1 you get the 30% and then turn 3 you get the other. So chance performing a crit plus 10% with each attack received. That's up by 5%. Okay, so that's pretty nice. So by the end of it, you're going to look pretty nice, and that's if each attack received. This is mainly a unit you do want to hide though. So you do launch 2 additional normals, each of which they have a 50% chance to become a super attack when there is a super class enemy. Okay, so what are we looking at for his stats? So after his Easy A coming in at 55%, 8,000. Now he does greatly stack. If against a super enemy you have these 2 additional normals, you're going to triple greatly stack. That would actually be quite insane. If you do have in Rainbow or Hell just one do, nearly 10,000 in terms of defense, pretty solid attack actually coming in at 18,500. Rainbow, yeah, so 11,000 defense, nearly 20,000 attack. He is quite a beast. Yes. So, of course, this is pretty nice that you build up crits. And of course, this is nice where you get the 2 additional attacks, right? Now, again, against a superclass enemy, but you'll probably find that happens more often than not. So this guy is a stacking unit. So for all the Fighting Legend events, this will probably come out quite nice because you're going to trigger every little bit of this passive. Now, of course, the main thing going for this guy is he has stuff like Cold Judgment and Big Bad Bosses. That alone is actually really good. Big Bad Boss is giving you 25%. And that's attack and defense. While Cold Judgment will just give you 25% defense. Prepare for Battle gives you a little bit of stats as well. And I think you get 2 key from Dismal Future. Right. So ultimately, in this particular form, it's nothing special. So you are going to get, let's see, 110%. Right, so you get 110% for your first turn, then it builds up. So yeah, okay, so it's not so bad. I feel like this could be at least 100%. Right, why not? So I mean, they've left out some. I mean, there's some pretty busted Easy A's, and this seems underwhelming. But again, he is late, so been able to have a few preliminary goes with him. Now he is actually pretty bonkers, even though this only shows 80%. I think what helps is all of this, as well as like a 200% team. So again, pretty great, right? Most helpful on an incredible amount of teams. Time Travelers is really nice. Inhuman Deeds, Corroded Body and Mind for one. Accelerated Battle and Worldwide Chaos for another. Patara will be a really nice buff. So again, these greens coming in here, these blues, right? It's pretty good with Patara. So again, looking pretty great for his extreme version of like Realm of Gods or his extreme version of Patara or anything, or transformation boost, is actually really great. So yeah, Time Travelers is the way to go. Now, of course, if you have the new Shiny LR, which is the physical trunks, he is at 200%. So sure, I mean, like there are 200% teams for him now, so this is really good. And of course, the best thing perhaps going for this guy, right, aside from the fact he's had his Easy A, is that his transform condition has been improved. So this is great. So it used to be, what is it, 80% from 6 turns? You had to be above 80% health from the 6th turn, it is now 60% or more health from the 4th turn. So more importantly, it's 4th turn, which puts him on par with pretty much everyone else. But HP threshold being 60% or more, that's way better. Because there are certain units you could just take, you think, that's just a bit too much damage than you think. And of course, 80% in some difficult content was pretty ridiculous. So what happens when he does transform? Well, you get this. So this is actually brilliant. So what happens when you do transform? Well, you do get 250% attack, 150% defense, and you maintain your 50% chance to crit, which is pretty good. Again, the guy has a little bit more attack and maintains this. He gives extreme class ally 3 key. He still maintains that, but now he gives 30% attack. Dude, imagine if he gave defense as well. He'd be a pretty broken support, because that's just extreme class allies, which is what I was saying for like Worldwide Chaos, Grow the Body and Mind, and Extreme Class for all these ones in particular. The 3 key is perhaps the most important bit. So you do launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack if there is a super class enemy, but you have another additional attack that has a 50% chance to become a super attack, period, flat out. So rather than being against a super class, you now still have just a generic base of all, just another normal, right? Still stacks attack, still greatly stacks defense, sorry. But now, of course, you also lower attack and defense. Factor in mind, this is a unit who massively gets buffs from this and stuff like this. When you can get like 30% and 2 key just from these two links, could be really, really good. The dude stacks defense, so again, having that 25% extra, or hell, maybe even like 30% extra, that's really, really good. Yes, the dude does lose his own key, but then again, pretty much at that point, he does gain stuff like Super Saiyan, so you might actually be able to work that around. So it's pretty nice, this one. So you get an additional attack 10% with each attack performed up to 50. So he's going to have a 300% attack. It's a shame it's not attack and defense, because honestly, I mean, why not? There are some busted EZAs. Why the hell are we not having, why is it not a thing this time round? The most anticipated EZA going probably this year. Right, and especially of this celebration, and they give us stuff like this. I'm a little bit disappointed. I mean, he is greatly stacking. I think that's what they're banking on. It's like, you have these. So imagine if you triple super from all these, you could actually quadruple super from your hidden potential system. Each one's greatly stacking defense. I think that's kind of what they're going for. No doubt, the fact that you're greatly stacking with this amount of defense is pretty good. I feel like base should have this, and then when he transforms, he should have close to like 180, and there should be attack and defense. I'm fine with this, and I'm fine with the rest of it. So he is pretty good. There's no doubt. I've had a little bit of preliminary testing for him. It is a late video after all, and I can certainly tell you that he starts off a bit underwhelming, especially if you don't have big bad bosses. But after a couple of rotations, he is right off to the races. So he takes a little bit of time to build him, but then he is good to go. And honestly, I've had it for, I think, like turn 1, you can range somewhere between like 130 to 150 k defense at the start of turn, depending on big bad bosses. And then literally the next turn, you can be up to like 350. That depends on how many super attacks and links you can get. So yes, of course. So obviously, one of the one of the best linking partners you can get is this guy, who's also had his EZA, also a pretty solid unit. You know, he's a 50% attack and defense for those who belong to the extreme class, extreme realm of gods. So you're going to be able to give him 50% support, which in turn will buff his stats from 80% to 130. You have got this guy as well. Now, this guy is not a support. He actually does give key a little bit, but more importantly, what they possess between them is really, really good. So again, you ain't going to struggle. The new Samasu, big bad bosses for Basil, Dismal Future, which is a nice 2 key. Ain't going to struggle there too much. Let's see, hell, even the most new shiny unit is still going to be able to trigger Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Prepare for Battle, and Fierce Battle. So this will be a situation where you'll have less stats, and perhaps you'll be a floater. But in terms of this unit, it would be a great support, because you are still triggering quite a few good links. Of course, as I say, when you get to these, we're talking like Extreme Class Realm of Gods, Worldwide Chaos, Time Travelers. I mean, the list goes on to how useful this guy is. Right? He's pretty bonkers. Of course, he's the king. it probably would be the king has returned in a sense. Imagine when he first came out those years ago, back in 2019. Which is about 4 years ago, he was pretty bonkers. He did phase off quite rapidly because he didn't have no start of turn stats. But again, at the same time, when he released, oof, boy, was he good. Now, of course, he is going to hit ridiculously hard. And as he's a stacking unit with like this in here, this will build up his 50% chance to crit. He's going to murder some opponents, there's just no doubt. The crits will be something you can rely on. Right, okay. So, I mean, there are a few nitpicks that you can actually do, that you can actually point out. As I say, like, why is it just not attack and defense here? You could even argue, why is it not attack and defense? Why does it have to be against a superclass enemy, right? Why can't in this form he greatly stacks attack and maybe just like raise the no greatly raise the defense, but even something as simple as raise attack for the turn? That would have been something nice. I think they're relying too much on this stacking ability with this guy, but no doubt he is he is absolutely broken. But yes, that's going to be it for this video. There is a pretty interesting easy A that we have. Yeah, he is a few days old now, so as I say, with my illness and work, it is what it is. But hey, even I would have to do a video on this guy because he is truly bonkers. I mean, it works. It's a bit basic, but it works. Like, they haven't shortchanged him. I mean, I know you might think, oh, he's not as great as some of the others. Because, for example, like, this guy gets 158%, he gets another 158%, and he gets another 158%, right? I mean, that can seem pretty bonkers. But I mean, it's not as if they shortchanged him. But anyway, yeah, I'll be looking forward to do some videos. Remember, this is a unit that appreciates the links more than anything. So if you do have these links put in, you'll find that his initial strength will be great. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. The epitome of sublime beauty, Goku Black. Wow, man, was he was he most anticipated, and we finally have him. By the way, no news on an LR EZA because I fully expected the LR version of this to drop out as well, like his EZA, because it's relevant. But no LR EZA during this campaign, which is pretty insane. So again, that leaves that one to be decided. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And if you liked it, fantastic. If you didn't, well, that sucks to be you. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.